Hi, my name is Aimee Caron, and this is my midterm video puppet diary. The first thing we're going to be discussing today are the three tenets of puppetry, which are breath, focus, and movement. Breath is what really brings the puppet to life. It's allowing yourself as the puppeteer to translate your breath into the puppet, to give it the subtle up and down movements that you have when you breathe, as well as the subtle nuances that come with any character. Focus is what gives the puppet intentionality. It allows the audience to see where the puppet is looking and often what it's feeling or thinking as well. Movement is what gives the puppet direction. It's the actual staging of the puppet, giving it hand gestures or anything like that that would really bring it into the real world. In my personal experience, as someone who has asthma as well as an anxiety disorder, I've always been very familiar with having to control my breathing. However, having to bring that to a whole new level and focus not only on myself, but on bringing that breath into the puppet was really interesting for me. At first, it was quite difficult because I had already trained myself in a very certain way of trying to control my breathing. However, as I got more practice with it, I actually found it to be somewhat of an anxiety reducer for me. Focus is probably the most difficult of the tenets for me. When you're focused so much on your own movements, how you're breathing, remembering what comes next in your skit, and other mental and physical processes of your own, it can be easy to forget that the real focus needs to be on this puppet. You need to really concentrate on giving that separate being life and to give it its own focus so that people can imagine the puppet has its own mental and physical processes that it's going through. While this has been difficult, I am proud of the improvements that I've made over the course of the semester. Next, we go on to movement, which I find really interesting in the puppet world. The movements of puppets waver somewhere between the lines of realism and the cartoon world. Clearly, it depends on the type of puppetry you're doing and what your intentionality is. But for me, it's really interesting to pick and choose elements from both of those worlds in order to most effectively portray the thoughts of the puppet, the plot of the show, or even give more comedy to a piece. As someone new to puppetry, I'm certainly nowhere near close to a master in the field. However, I, along with many of my classmates, have certainly improved through a series of successes and failures. Personally, I think that by the end of working with the raw puppets, my biggest success was in breath. My focus and movements still definitely need to be refined a bit more, but the improvements I saw within myself just learning that new method of controlling my breathing was something that I was really proud of. I think that as a class, our biggest downfall is probably focus. However, with the improvements I've seen in my peers, I think that we're all starting to focus on focus a little bit more. I think that one person who's really shown a strength in movement is Coleman, especially in the Bunraku-esque circus assignment that we're doing right now. As the lion, he is very clear and precise in his movements and has a really good balance between the realistic and cartoon worlds, as I was discussing before. One classmate that I've really seen shine in giving the puppet breath is Stevie. From day one, it was clear that she had a propensity towards it, and I really enjoyed watching her work on the rod puppets and seeing how her breathing was controlled there. Through watching others perform, I've definitely learned and been inspired to push towards my own improvement. And that's one of the reasons that I've really enjoyed the shows and guest speakers that we've gotten to see as a class. My favorite so far is absolutely Ship of Fools, and it's definitely what I've learned the most from as well. From the intricacy of the movements with the psychiatrist and the patient, to the breath given to the painter and his subject, and even the focus and directionality that was translated into the huge pantsuit, even though it didn't even have a face to really direct focus. I have really learned what masterful puppeteering looks like, and that was definitely very important to my learning process. And also, Ship of Fools taught me aspects of the art that I would like to bring into my own work, which was really important to me. Overall, I have thoroughly enjoyed this course so far. We have really created an environment where I feel safe and comfortable to let my creativity just flow. This class has really opened my eyes to more aspects of theater as well, and as someone who believes that you should never stop learning about your field, I have really cherished the opportunity to be able to take this course. Thank you very much. Have a great day.